This is on Facebook.
Yes, we are live, everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we are live. And I am here with Andy Audate, a new good friend here. And he says that he is here to help us innovate our business marketing in the midst of COVID-19. Is that right, my friend?
That is 100% right. This is a prime opportunity. I know there's a lot of health challenges with COVID, but this is a prime opportunity during COVID while people are spending more time on their phones, more time on their computers, to get in front of them, get attention, build awareness for your brand, and then monetize that awareness.
All right. Well, we shall see. We shall see what he can do for us today on this episode of The Authority Project.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, feast your eyes and tune your ears. It's that time again. We are live with another episode of The Authority Project. It's the video podcast streamed on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, and Periscope, where we talk to digital marketers, business coaches, and creators of all kinds on how they've built authority in their field and how you can mimic their success. Developing authority, building your audience, and attracting better clients to your own business. Now, without further ado, let's bring to the virtual stage your host, Brian S. Arnold.
All right, we are back with another episode of The Authority Project. I am Brian S. Arnold, your host, and on the virtual stage, we have Andy Audate in the building helping you, the project, because we want to slap authority to your name so you can sell more of what you're great at. And we're going to help you innovate. Well, I'm not going to do it. Andy's going to help you innovate your business marketing in the midst of the COVID-19, this pandemic world that we're in. But before we dive in at all, please, Andy, tell us who you are personally and then professionally.
I'm a connected, loving, humble, ambitious man, hungry and determined to really make change and impact from the world that I'm aware of, from the world that I know. Meaning that the world is constantly evolving and changing. And I understand that there's a prime opportunity right now to expand. So now I want to take on my experiences and give that opportunity for others to expand.
Awesome. So tell us right now what's your current project that you're working on at the moment?
Currently, I'm working on the build out of Audate Media. We're a marketing agency based out of Las Vegas, and we essentially get customers online, brand new customers to your door from online using social media and advertising.
Love it. That's awesome, man. Awesome. So here's a question that I ask guests that might catch them off guard, but we'll see how you answer, how you respond. You ready? All right. So what is your daily routine?
Wake up at 5 a.m, get dressed, head over to the gym, work out. By 7 o'clock, I'm out of the gym, head home, grab some breakfast, take a shower, and so on and so forth. Then by 8:50, I have my first meeting with my team. And at 8:50 sharp, then I start the day with Zoom calls galore, back-to-back Zoom calls that my team members are managing my calendar and then allowing me to really stay on point. And then by the end of the day, I wrap up our team meeting at 5 p.m. Then I head over to the gym, do another workout, then spend time with my loved one at home, and then head off to bed and then do the same thing over again the next day.
I love that. Awesome, man. Awesome. So let's dive into it then. Let's get right into it, man. How do we market in the new pandemic environment that we're in? How do we innovate in this way?
Well, the first thing that we need to understand is the foundational principle of marketing, which is awareness, and taking that awareness and driving that towards getting sales of a product, sales of or a service. So if we have a process on getting known and then turning that attention into dollars, that's going to be marketing. So we need to, during this time where a lot of people are spending time on their phones, on their computers, they are home, they're on their TV. This is your opportunity right now to get in front of those people and turn that awareness, turn that attention into money.
I love it. So I think that in this environment where people are, traditional marketers, or should I say traditional business people, are having a tough time in this new climate that we're in. People are getting shut down. Businesses are getting shut down. They don't know. They're used to one thing, helping one way of making money, right? So, why do you feel that change is so hard for people, and why they won't? Kind of hard for them to get through this and pivot into something new in this new industry that we're in.
Well, I think what happens is that us as humans, we want security. We want consistency. We want to be able to predict the outcome, because if we cannot predict the outcome and we're unaware of the outcome, then what happens to us internally is we get nervous, we get frightened, we get scared because we don't know what the future looks like for us. So security means that we understand what the outcome is. So if we do what we've always been doing, which is, hey, go to work, or whatever your daily routine is or your daily activity is, if it's constantly the same, you can predict your outcome. You can predict how much income you're going to get at the end of the month. You can predict how much income you're going to make by the end of the week. You can predict your results. And now when it comes to change and doing something new, you can't necessarily predict that. You're taking a chance on doing something different, which is nerve-wracking. And because you can't predict that, it affects your security, affects your ability to understand or to be aware of what's going to happen in the future. So we affect that security, then we affect our results potentially. Therefore, we're in an unstable position to even make the decision to do something different.
Right. But don't you think,
we just got to understand the human trait first. If we understand our brain, then we can put systems in place in order to have the best results. If we put the systems in place, we can understand how to have the best results using a system, but tricking our brain in the process.
So I hear what you're saying, but I think some of us have been in that mode. Maybe we've been in that place where we were uncomfortable before. With our businesses, now we're here, and everything we get to a point where we are feeling comfortable. Like, this is great now, and then something like this just shatters everything in this pandemic. How do we get back to the point where we're okay with being uncomfortable? You know what I'm saying? So it's like we're okay with getting back to, because I think a lot of people think that this is like.
I'll tell you, that was the biggest mistake in the first place, to get to a place, for anyone who listens, to get to a place of comfort and think that, oh, it's okay. Something is around the corner. You one of my mentors said that you either just left a problem or you're headed into one. Mm-hmm. So it's either or, right? You're in a problem or you're headed into one. So the idea of being comfortable and saying, hey, I'm all right, I'm okay, everything's straight, then you're gonna have a wake-up call anytime soon. One of my employees from one of my previous businesses, what he said to me was, man, every time that something's good, I'm nervous because I know something bad is about to happen. And that's one mindset of its own. However, if we have a mindset of recognizing that we must stay uncomfortable, something like the pandemic is not going to really frighten you because you're always uncomfortable anyway.
Right. So tell us, give us a few things that people should be working on now as marketers, like in this, because I don't think this pandemic is going away anytime soon. So what should we be doing? Should we be going into more virtual, diving in full steam ahead with virtual, with video, or what have you? And I don't think it has to be all video, to be honest. But what should we be doing to innovate our businesses going into 2021?
Systematize, duplicate, scale. So systematizing is creating a process for the result that you want to have. So right now in this time, many of the previous systems may be ineffective, mm-hmm. meaning that the process to get a customer in the past may be dwindling down, and you catch yourself where business is tight. Business is not as strong as it used to be. Yeah. I just went to a doctor's office yesterday, a dentist's office, and I said, how have you shifted in the pandemic as far as clientele? And he's like, Andy, we've been in business for 20 years. And so the owner's like, hey, we've been in business for 20 years. And so that's his mindset, is that he's using that idea of being in business for so long, for 20 years, as if what happened in year 2000 is equivalent to what's happening in year 2021. And so then I talked to his assistant. I said, how is business? How is business? And they're like, yeah, we definitely see an impact. We definitely see an impact. And I decided not to even do the deal with the doctor, right? And in the conversation with the doctor, I see constantly like he's bringing up the dollars. He's bringing up the, like trying to close me on this deal. Like I know a salesperson when so I see constantly trying to bring it. So I don't know where the doctor's at financially, but what I do know this is that the data that I gathered in that visit, that was like 45 minutes long, was that the owner says, hey, we've been in business for 20 years. We're strong. We know exactly. I know exactly what to do. I've been in business for 20 years. The second piece of data that I received was that same doctor is in a position of, I need to get a deal. I need to get a deal. I need to get a deal. So he's telling me about the financing, about the payment options, about why I need it. And he never even opened up my mouth to look at what was going on, which essentially was like a clicking in my mouth. And then the third thing is that the assistant vulnerably shared with me, hey, yeah, we've experienced a large decline in clientele. So this is the 3 points of data that I've gathered in that 45 minutes. And so if you're constantly in a mindset of like, hey, the way that I've been doing things is the way that I've been doing things, if you're constantly in that mindset, you will lose in this new economy that we are entering into, that we've already entered into. In this new economy, you will lose. You need to innovate, evolve, and progress on a daily basis, and that includes your marketing process on how you get customers into the door.
So this is great because you see so many examples of people not shifting. I mean, I think one of the biggest ones out there is Blockbuster. Where they had everything. They had the market to themselves basically, and then Netflix comes in and then just shatters them because they failed to shift, they failed to change, they failed to pivot. So how important do you think this is going forward for people to really realize that you need to be doing something different? Because I don't know about you, but I just don't see this market changing anytime soon.
You don't see what?
The market, this industry changing anytime soon. It's going virtual. It's going virtual. Just going virtual. What I mean by just much marketing and just business in general. It's more online, where people are marketing more online, and we're getting away from the traditional ways of advertising, so that kind of thing. So why do you feel it's so important that people realize this and change what they've been doing for years?
Look, right now, for example, last night, so right now it's 10:47 a.m. Pacific time, okay?
Right.
And 12 hours ago, I'm laying down in bed, and I said, so this is actually less than 12 hours ago, maybe 11 hours and 15 minutes. So at 11 p.m. last night, I'm laying in bed, and I said to myself, man, I want, by the time that I wake up, I want groceries at my door. I want groceries at my door. When I would come back from the gym in the morning, come back from the gym at 7 o'clock, I want the, to be able to do a veggie shake and so on and so forth. Yeah. So I get on my application for the grocery store, and then I have the food delivered to me at 5 in the morning. And they actually came to my door at 5 in the morning as I'm walking out the gym to go to the gym at about 5:19 a.m. The guy is at my doorstep, putting the food on my doorstep.
Wow.
Now the same process, putting my groceries, the same process of getting food, just even 8 years ago was, hey, I need to drive to the grocery store, wait for them to open. When they open, choose what I want, and then put the stuff in my car, and then drive home, put it into the fridge. I cut, a large portion of the process. Business has to evolve. The same way that the grocery industry, the produce industry has evolved, business has to evolve. So even the same scenario of the dentist yesterday. When we looked at, I had to drive to the dentist. Man, there are opportunities where if you need to get braces, there's a new form of braces that they'll send the mold the molding equipment to your house. They'll teach you how to do it step 1, step 2, step 3. Then you send that back to them in the mail. Then they send it. Then they send the piece, the Invisalign in your mouth. They send that to you, and so now you don't even need to go to the dentist anymore. So the same experience here, where we see these businesses evolve, your marketing has to evolve to attract the newer type of audience that is going to be spending money with you, whether you like it or not. It's a necessity.
Yeah, that's great stuff. I love that, man. So, how should we be planning? I mean, it's the end of 2020. I think most people are pretty much done with 2020 at this point. But so, how should people who are maybe, I want to say just starting out, but how should we be planning in general for the new year? How do you do it?
I already started my new year last month.
Okay.
So November 1st was my new year. So it's another day. January 1st is another day. So I do see where people are saying, hey, I need 2020 to be over right now because 2021 is my year, and I think this is like a false sense of security, or false sense of hope, as if there's a lot gonna change from December 31st to January 1st. Like as of January 1st, COVID's gonna be gone. We're gonna go back to normal. This was just a messed up year. Let's redo this again and press the refresh button on January 1st. I mean, you're still gonna have to walk around a mask. Things are still gonna be shut down that are shut down on January 1st. If anything, it might get worse in 2021. Things might get worse. The biggest thing that I had to deal with in my personal life and in my business life, my professional life, was in March. I had to come to the understanding that, hey, 2019 is over. What we know prior to the COVID-19 is done. And I think there is a false sense of hope that, hey, when are we gonna go back to normal? Like, when can we go back? There are new kids that are born that are born today, or born last year, born last month, or born the month before, that they will not know how it is to just walk around the street freely. That's their normal. That's the new world. And then we're just happen to be in a transition. The sooner that we can accept that, the stronger that we have to living a better, more fulfilled life.
That's awesome, man. So I got a couple questions for you. Here's one that you might not, be looking at here. So people see you, right? And they think, it's easy for Andy to say, he's got that thing, he's got that swag already. He's on point. He already knows, all this stuff. Why do you think? What do you say to people like that? Who say that it's easy for you to do it and not for them?
It is easy for me to do it. That's like I said. It is easy for me to do it because I have a system.
Okay.
I have a process, and when things were harder, I didn't have a process. And once I created a process, things got easier. So I'll give you an example of like a system. What I mean by system. Someone could say, man, it's easy for Andy to go and make money. Someone could say that. It's easy for Andy to go and make money. But when your standard is security, when your standard is having a home, having a shower, having clothes on your back, having food in the fridge, when that's your lowest standard, when you financially go down to, let's say, a random number, let's say it's $100 for humanity's sake. So let's say when someone goes down to $100, their paycheck was last Friday, today's Thursday, I got $100 in my bank account. Okay. When you go to that stage, man, you start and you have like a clue of how to make money outside of your job. Or if you're a sales professional and you get paid commission, you start hustling. You start figuring out how to make money. You start, looking around the house, man, what can I do? A garage sale? Even in the middle of COVID, it don't matter if it's COVID. I need to get money. I need to go get paid. So when you have that foundational understanding, you see how your brain works. So you go out and hustle and you go get money, and then you bring it back to the house. What people do when they start generating income is that they might have say, for example, when someone was making $5,000 a month and their $5,000 was going out fast. So they only have one bank account. So every time they look in their bank account, it's never at 5,000 because money's always being spent. So it's always it fluctuates between, let's say, 1,000 to $2,000 throughout the whole month. It's always fluctuating up and down, one bank account. But when you see that $999, that's when you're like panic mode, gotta go hustle, right?
Right.
So if we understand our brain, that happens, right? In order for us to make more money, why don't we just keep our bank account always at $999 then? So that means that if I have another bank account, for example, if that same person who at 1,000 is relaxed, and $999, when they see the 3 digits, they're like, oh, I'm scared, I'm nervous, I gotta go hustle and make money. Right. What they should do is then open up a bank account that they don't have access to, they don't see it, and they're just constantly dumping money in there, and they always keep their bank account between $500 to $1,000. That means they never relax. They're always out pushing. And now the income is completely dropping. The additional income is dropping in that other account that they don't see. Next thing you know, they wake up and they have 20,000. Or they wake up and they have 40,000. Or they wake up, they have 50,000, or the 60,000, 100,000, 250,000. And they're like, oh, shoot, I got 250,000. What am I going to do with this?
Right.
And if you understood that mindset of constantly going broke is what drove you to be able to have 250,000, stay broke. Invest that money, throw it in some real estate, throw it in some investments, start a new business, invest into other companies, and stay broke.
Awesome. That's great stuff.
That's the system. That's the system. So you want to create systems in different areas of your life to see, like, okay, how do I naturally respond to create the result that I want? So if people are comfortable staying at the $1,000 mark or the $5,000 mark, but once they change the switch and they create a process, now net worth is gonna increase because they have a process, they have a system.
That's great stuff. Everybody, I hope that was very inspiring, my friend. I want to give you plenty of time right now as we wrap up here. But I have one last question. I asked all of my guests, first of all, and it goes something like this. People see you, they hear you, they love what you're saying, and they have similar journeys like you. They want to be like Andy. So and they want to do what you do. Okay. So can you give them, I'll put you front and center, can you give them a few, maybe like one big tip or a couple of things to share to them to help them be an authority in this space, in your space?
To be an authority, number one, produce results. Number one, actually produce the results that you're saying that you're producing. Number two is build awareness on your message. You must show up physically, you must show up powerfully. So the opportunity is in the show up. So when I say physically, is to be in the space. So if I'm talking about Facebook, be on the platform. If I'm talking about Instagram, be on the platform. If I'm talking about speaking on stages, be on the stage. That's to show up physically. Number two, you must show up powerfully. And powerfully means to be seen and to be heard. So that way your message, your ideology, your way of thinking is seen and is heard, that people can understand who you are and what you're all about. Now that puts you in a position to say, hey, people are like, hey, I want to learn from you. I want to listen to what you got to say because I'm always seeing you. I'm always hearing about you. And by putting yourself in that position, you will win if you have a system to monetize. So that's why I created the Brand Marketing Summit. The Brand Marketing Summit is a 2-day event where I teach people how to monetize their business utilizing the support of virtual assistants, where virtual assistants essentially run your entire business. Like I have my brand, I have my business, I'm able to travel, I'm able to spend time with my loved ones. And it's because my business runs with or without me. So I can walk away for a month and my business is still gonna run. That's because my business has a system. So for the first time ever, I actually released this system at joinbms.com, where I teach you how to utilize the support of virtual assistants to run your business and live life with freedom. Joinbms.com.
That is awesome, man. Awesome stuff. Great, man. I hope everybody got a lot of this. Very inspiring, incredible stuff, man. Please tell people where they can find you after the show.
Hey, the best place to find me, audate.com. Or connect me on any other social media platforms, Andy Audate, 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 Andy Audate.
Great stuff, man.
Or join BMS. Join BMS. Join BMS. Brand Marketing Summit. And you're going to join the Brand Marketing Summit. So join BMS.com.
Everybody, get a hold of this guy as soon as you possibly can. This guy is he's going to be one of the most he's up and coming. Or he's already there. I should say he's already there. to get a hold of this guy, and don't forget, people, please go over to the audate.com. We're helping you build your authority platform, just like Andy is in his own way. And just please, I need you to understand how important it is to build your authority platform in a powerful way, so that you can, just be able to sell more of what you're great at, because you are great, and I want people to see the greatness in you. So I'm good. I am so good with this episode. Andy, if you have any final words, just go ahead and do it, and we'll wrap up from there.
Hey, take advantage of an opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of an opportunity, recognizing that opportunities do have a window of time. So take advantage of that opportunity of a lifetime in the lifetime of that opportunity, in the window of the opportunity. And do it by showing up powerfully. By showing up powerfully means that your message is seen, your message is heard. And unfortunately, I share with people how to share their message, how to share their why, how to share their story, how to share their business using social media and generating income on that. So this is why I created the Brand Marketing Summit, where you can get me at joinbms.com. Thank you so much, Brian, for having me on your deal.
This is great. Awesome. Everybody, perfect. Perfect. Appreciate you. And we'll see you on the next episode of The Authority Project.
Thank you, my man.
And that's a wrap for this episode of The Authority Project. Thanks so much for tuning in. And if you like what you heard, we want to hear from you. Subscribe, rate, and give an honest review. Share and tell your friends so they can hear too. And for even more authority building tactics, be sure to sign up at theauthorityletter.com. Get free weekly content and ongoing digital product giveaways to help you on your entrepreneurial journey. We certainly hope you got a key takeaway, or maybe an aha moment from today's broadcast. Just remember, it's your authority. Build it, share it, and they will come. Until next time.